Well done.
And welcome back into the OCFTV studio. I am one of your hosts, Zach Cannata. I'm joined today by Zach Barkus, Dave Arroyo, and the Invisible Man, Bryce Miller. Orlando City tames the top team in the West. Facundo, he is on fire. Duncan, Orlando doesn't run on Duncan. And then our boy Jack Lynn coming in with a fantastic performance.
Well in, Jack.
You'll hear about all this and more at the top of the hour, so don't go anywhere. We're back again with another word from our friends over there at BetOnline. BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and you can even place your NFL futures bets. You can take the Steelers at plus 6,000 to win the Super Bowl.
You can take my New York Jets for plus 1,200.
Or Duval with 2,500.
Or the good old Tampa Bay Buccaneers at plus 12,500.
Okay, buddy.
BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Again, that's code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit.
BetOnline, where the game starts.
Guess this is the top of the hour. How you lads doing over there?
Who's that character from South Park?
Fuck it. I know what you're talking about.
Well, can I ask? I don't know. I really don't know. We're doing good. You know, OCFTV version of Sports Center themed episode, so here we are. Obviously, we got the studio, like Sports Center does.
The visual background right here. This is not just pinned up. It's
there.
This is TV. So
what is
high
this,
production? High production value.
I'll drag the D out of its place. Ready?
Oh, you can't be saying shit like that.
Apparently not, with you fucking kids around. All right, anyway. So, statement win from the boys.
And the top team in the West falls in Orlando. And now we are only 1 point back from them, which is kind of crazy to think about. We got Cincinnati above us in the East, along with Philly in New England.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have teams above, 3 teams above the top teams in the West.
That just shows the West is shit.
The West is good, but I think the East just has it down pat this year with the strength. So, to get a win against the top team in the West is 3 points to help us climb in the East. Unfortunately, I believe second and third place still has a game in hand on us, and they are either level with us on points or 3 points ahead. So we have a little bit of ground, or they have a little bit of ground to make up. But
Second and third, yeah, they have a game in hand, equal on points with New England and Philly.
Yep, and it looks like Cincinnati is just going to run away with the Supporters Shield in the East this year. But we're basically fighting for second, third, fourth, and then even behind us in the table, there's still a lot of fighting to be had. So we're looking pretty good heading into the latter part of the season, and I hope we can keep that going.
Yeah, definitely. Couple of, back-to-back good performances from us on the road in Chicago, and then to come back home, play a team in St. Louis that is a strong team. They've shown it all year. They first MLS expansion side to four wins,
4 or 5 in a row.
Yeah, 4 or 5. And since then, they really haven't let off the gas. Kind of want to attribute it to the atmosphere though in the stadium. That was like the first relatively close to a sellout. Not like close to a sellout, but like you could feel the atmosphere in the stadium for the first time in a while, I think.
Those first couple of minutes were pretty electric. Obviously, it died down a little bit, but it was still, like you said, we're getting back to that. We're selling
Purple Palace.
Sure, Purple Palace. We're selling more tickets. There's more people in the stadium making more noise, and I think you just used the word attribute. I'm going to use it again. We can attribute that to winning.
Yep.
We said it at the beginning of the season, at the end of last season. If you win, people will want to come to the matches. If they're having fun at the game, it will be even better. So the atmosphere is helped by winning. Obviously, people are having a good time. They're going to want to bring their friends, and when the friends see that, they're going to bring their friends. So it really all comes down to the performance on the pitch, and I think we've seen evidence of that this season. So it just helps a lot.
Speaking of performances on the pitch, our man of the match and standout star performer from the past couple of matches for us, Facundo's definitely finding his footing again. We know that he finishes out seasons better than he starts them, so hopefully this is him hitting his stride now for the business end of the season.
Yeah, we'd love to see that. He's now our leading scorer with 10 goals in the league. Maybe. I think it's just in the league. Then there's Duncan sitting there with 8. So we're getting good goal contributions from at least 2 of our attackers. But yeah, Facundo's hitting his stride. We kind of saw him dip down a little bit, but like you said, he's coming into his own at the end of the season, looking like Man City, trying to close out a Premier League title yet again. What?
You cannot compare us to Man City.
I didn't compare us. I compared Facundo. He's closing. He's going to start to close out the season.
Go ahead, yeah, sure.
2 goals. Should have had a 3rd goal. Jack Lynn was robbed of an assist, as we saw. Nerwinski, or whatever his name was a little bum. Yeah,
that was also Enrique.
Yeah, but Jack Lynn was robbed of an assist. I said, sorry.
You said,
I know. Should have had 3. I said we, not.
I was bad to begin with.
You should have clarified that you were a bitch before we started this podcast together.
You're literally ugly. Get a haircut.
And we're back.
Yeah. Yeah. Jack Lynn, robbed of an assist. He played well.
Yeah.
The 9 minutes he was on.
It was more than that. He came on 84 and played till 100.
That was definitely a good little cameo for him. Love the work rate that we get to see out of him.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely looks like he's somebody that's fighting to be able to be with this first team roster consistently. So good things out of that. I mean, love seeing him back defending on set pieces, and then like you said, a decent ball.
Decent. It was pinpoint. Absolutely.
It was a great ball. It's also nice to see him acknowledge some of his fangirls up in the supporter section.
There he is.
Fangirls? Really?
Well, there's multiple, apparently.
Multiple?
I'm pretty sure I heard people clapping for him when he scored that one.
I've started a movement.
He did acknowledge you, I'll give you that. But
of course, I was looking away.
Michael. So, speaking of strikers, Mr. Duncan McGuire. We're starting to see a little stagnation from him.
Yep.
Do we think that's him getting leggy? Do we think that's him just not getting the same opportunities that he's gotten in the past? What are we attributing that to?
Could it be play style? Because we have heard that Oscar or certain people have told him not to run and sprint and fight every tackle like it's his last tackle.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's something in that, and then it's gotten to his head and he doesn't want to get hurt, or he's just really listening to the coaches. And what we saw him do really well in was when he I am word souping right now. What he did really well in is when he was trying hard and fighting like every tackle was his last. But I don't think we've seen that as much in the recent matches in these last 3 where he hasn't had a goal contribution, and it's just kind of been, oh, we have a striker up top. So yeah, I understand the kind of liability that he is to himself when he's fighting really hard, but that's what was working for him, and he was staying healthy. So I just kind of 50-50 on it.
I think he's starting to get tired.
Mm-hmm.
He's been our number 1 now for months,
mm-hmm.
and he's played a lot of minutes every single match.
Yep.
You're going to look up the exact number, so we'll get that in a second. But for a rookie coming into the MLS with the travel, with the load, with all that kind of stuff, and then we see in his play style, he's a very high-energy, aggressive striker. That's also going to put wear on him. So I think it's coming down to he needs a good rest.
Yeah.
and just needs to be able to, especially on a double match week like we're going into.
Yeah, you can't start.
We need to see him get a rest.
But you can argue the fact that we just had a reasonable rest in the League's Cup.
Right.
We
Which
did
is what I want to say, 2 or 3 weeks that we've had off.
Yeah, something like that.
So, is it a rest need, or is it just him kind of slowing down in general for the season at least?
So according to Transfer Market, I think it's a total of 950 minutes in the MLS across 21 matches, and for the first however many games of the season, he wasn't really playing because Cara was still getting starts up top, or it was Enrique, and then he finally came in, took his chances, and started. So I think these 950 minutes have kind of just been in a cramped timeline because it's been start instead of rotation. So it definitely could be that he's just tired, or it could be a mix of, hey, don't run as hard, and you're going to start every single match and play minimum 65 minutes. Yeah. So there's a lot to it. And I do think we will probably see rotation, especially tomorrow. Well, yeah, what is tomorrow? Wednesday against Charlotte. So it could either, I think it's going to be Enrique probably starting up top. Don't think Jacqueline has got to that point where he could be our starting striker yet. But then maybe Duncan comes on for the last 15, 20 minutes and then starts again on Saturday.
I know you might hate to hear it, but if he's healthy, this could be a game, and if he's available, that Cara starts. I just feel like Enrique is a better option coming off the bench when people are getting leggy, and he just provides that spark. And I don't know if Jacqueline is ready to start first team either.
Mm-hmm.
So could this be the return of Ercan Cara?
Well, speaking on Ercan Cara, let's go ahead and talk about the transfer rumors that came up and then fell apart in a matter of 48 hours.
Yeah. He was linked to Turkish side Samsunspor. It was reported that it was pretty close to Orlando City and Samsunspor agreeing a deal, and then Tom Bogert came out, I believe it was just yesterday, what would have been Tuesday, and said that the deal was not, quote unquote, very close. And then there was even more reports today saying that Orlando City rejected the offer from Samsunspor it was Samsunspor's final offer, quote unquote, final offer. So we'll see what happens. I believe the Turkish window, I think they said it closes September 8th. So they have up until then to try to make a deal. It was also Cara is not also Samsunspor's main target. Apparently it would just be like a backup striker, a rotational striker. So who knows what will happen. But I don't see this going through anymore at this rate.
I don't see something happening right now. I do see something happening in the off season.
Possibility, yeah.
I think we'll definitely look for more suitors during that time, and we'll take the best offer we can get. Reality of it is that we're gonna have to eat some cost here because he's definitely dropped in value since we've made that purchase.
Mm-hmm.
There's not going to be a team that's going to pay him the 2.4 or whatever he makes a year here. So he's going to have to take a pay cut. We're going to have to eat a little bit on the cost, but it's something that needs to be done because our DP can't be our third choice striker.
Yep, at this rate, fourth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that can't be the case. We have needs in other parts of the field that need to be filled.
Yep.
That would be suited for us to bring in a DP type player. So it's definitely something that I see happening in the off season. Where he ends up, who knows? But
could end up back in Austria.
Yeah, I'll say it's just a financial decision that has to be made. Because yes, you may eat a little bit on selling him, but you're gonna pay him however $1 million to sit on the bench for months.
Yep.
It's not a good return on investment. So it's time to part ways.
He hasn't even been sitting on the bench. He hasn't been in the squad last 2 match days for personal reasons, and now we see what those personal reasons are. So to still be paying him and him not even travel to Chicago, who knows if he traveled to Charlotte. I hope we see him on the, well, not, so I don't mean it like that. If he isn't there or if he isn't in Charlotte tomorrow, then I hope he's on that player availability report, and it just said not available or personal reasons or something again, so we get a little bit of clarity. Because I don't think he was even on that report for when we played St. Louis on Saturday. But knowing MLS clubs, and especially Orlando City, we're not going to get that clarity. We're just going to have the little mumbles of reports, and then we got to figure out if they're true or not and wait 48 hours. So, who knows?
So I know we got a little off track, but let's get back to St. Louis. We talked about it before. Rodrigo. Didn't notice him. I feel like that's all you can ask for, and your backup center back coming in. Honestly, truthfully, like that's they're not going to come in here and do anything insane. So I don't want to notice that you're in the game. I just want things to go as they normally are. Want you to do things that Antonio would do. You know what I mean? I don't want to notice that Antonio's not in the game and it's Rodrigo.
I mean, you would want to notice him if he was doing something pretty good, but you don't want to notice him for,
of course.
Shit, I cleared the ball straight up in the sky, and then Joao Klaus headed into the net, and it's 2-2.
But I would rather not notice him than notice him for a couple of good things and then a whole bunch of bad things.
Yeah. He had a game. That's how I would put it. It's not like, wow, he had himself a game. It's he played in that game.
Yep, he did his job.
Yeah.
That's all you can really ask for.
There wasn't that crazy step up of where are you going as their four is running in right behind you as you step up. So, yeah, he didn't have that crazy Rodrigo mistake. He didn't score the winner in the 94th minute. But he, like you said, he did his job, and we only conceded one. So, ended up winning the game, 3 points with Rodrigo starting. Still want Antonio back, but he did his job.
Sticking with the defense, how do we feel about Dagger Dan yet again in the right back spot?
Sign him to a 7-year deal at right back.
It's, oh my God, it's just refreshing to see if the way we play a right back that can push up in the midfield and that is confident on the ball. That's something I don't think we have in either Mikey and Kyle. Like, yes, Mikey might maybe be able to get up and down the field, but like on the ball, he doesn't look as confident as Dagger.
So Mikey coming back into the team now, we've seen him get minutes now in the past 2 matches. He doesn't come back into the starting 11 for you yet.
Me, no, right? Because it's still my vision is you still start until you do something wrong. And in my eyes, he's done nothing wrong and pretty much almost everything right.
I would agree with that. I was going to say the same thing, that it's tough for Mikey, but it is what it is. Like, you had your spot earlier in the year, but you went out with an injury. There's somebody else here that's performing. We saw it with Petrasso at the beginning of the season. He was the guy that we wanted to play at left back, ended up getting hurt. Santos came in, took advantage of his opportunities. Now you can't take him out of the team.
I honestly forgot he existed.
Yeah. Luca Petrasso.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Wow.
So,
hurt? Has he been hurt? Just
no,
not selected?
He's just not starting. You know, he's in the squad. There was, early in the season when he was out for, a little bit of an extended time, like 3-4 weeks, I think it was.
That's when Rafael made his
But
name.
Santos came in, took advantage of his opportunities, and he ran with it. We saw Santos in the preseason, then match week 1, we saw Petrasso, and we were like, yes, this is the way we want to.
Santos needs to leave the club.
Yeah,
pretty much after preseason game 1.
Might have been the overreaction of the season.
Oh, the century, apparently. All right, so move a little bit into the midfield. The pairing with Caesar Wilder, still elite.
He did. No, that was against Chicago where Caesar had a little bit of a shocker, and it wasn't great. I think he's another player. I'm just it's kind of like Schlegel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he played. He might have done things kind of like like a lineman does in football, where they do the dirty work, but they're not noticed as much, and they don't get the recognition.
Mhm.
And that might have been what he did this game. I just haven't gone back to look at it fully and kind of tracked him through the game. So he could have been doing the dirty work and the tackles, and making those little simple passes. But yeah, I don't really have much to say on Caesar, Cartagena. Kind of the same thing. They just did their jobs and they did it well. And here we are.
So I think teams are figuring out now that that's a strong point for us, is that the midfield, and they're all trying to cram the midfield, clog it up, and force things wide, which almost at the same time plays into our hands, because some of our most dynamic players are our wide players in Facundo and Angulo. So now that we've kind of got, I mean, both those guys are creating opportunities left and right. Whether they're
I'd say
finishing them,
honestly on the left, yeah, Facundo, yes, on the right, but on the left for me it'd be Rafael
Well,
Santos. That's more of a danger man.
even yeah,
Angulo is good. He can take players on, but final product, he said it at the game, right? I think you said it at the game.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
He's
no.
starting to get to the point where
I'm
it's
kind of
just,
tired of it.
yeah.
well, who are you going to play in that spot?
You can't, but I'm tired of the fact that he gets down there. There's 2 step overs. He gets past one man, and then his pass or his cross goes straight to the first guy that comes to close him down, or he does something else and it's a backwards pass. And I'm just like, eventually you have to get to the point where your final product is helping us. I don't know what his goal contributions are on the season, but I can imagine it's not over 5.
Is it like
I'm gonna have
1 and
no,
1?
it's 7. All right, 3 assists, 4 goals. So 2 over 5. Apologies. But when you're starting pretty much every game on the left wing, you got to have a little bit more than that. And it's like, if we all said let's sign him from the loan deal that we have him on and make it permanent. I'm like I said it in the game. I'm just going to need to see
An improvement.
an improvement in the final product, or else we're just paying you to kind of be a Dama Traore, as you can say. You got the pace, you can beat a man, but what can you do? That's just kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I would say he's good, but he's not effective. That's just the way I view it.
Effective in the final product. He's-
Yeah.
yeah.
What was I say? That he creates a lot of chances for us at the end of the day. Like whether he finishes them, but he's creating for a lot of other people at the same time. He's drawing defenders and creating that space for Santos to be able to do his things.
Correct, yeah.
So he does a lot of the dirty work, like you were saying with the midfield. He does the dirty work on the left side because we know that he's not the guy that's going to be serving the ball into the box. He's drawing the defenders and creating that space a lot of the time.
I mean, you could stick me out there and I could do that. Let me go.
I mean,
Let me
but
go shift in a little bit, drag the right back in, so Rafael can get in.
they're going to watch you one time and be like, this guy ain't doing shit anyway. Like,
Until I get the ball one time on the top of the box, curl it far post, top bins off the post in.
Yeah, that's
Done.
another thing. Like when he's in the final third with the ball, he's someone who should be able to put a shot on target.
Yeah.
But the product from him is either something that's skied or like it's a through ball to the keeper. There's no danger in his delivery.
That's came up with said it 2 minutes ago. It's like it's a Dama Traore.
Mhm.
We were watching the highlights of the Arsenal Fulham game, and he had that breakaway, and he got past the defender. He got past, I think it was Saliba, and then he tried to chip Ramsdale and just hit him right in the arm or chest. Like that's what we've come used to with Angulo, and I don't think you want that to kind of be the guy that you rely on for a late goal or a breakaway. You want someone with that pace that can put it away. Even Dan James.
Actually, yeah,
Yeah,
I shouldn't be
same thing.
surprised when he has a good shot.
Yeah.
It should be the other way around when he skies something and you're like, oh, what the fuck was that?
Right.
That's just the new normal for us.
3-Voss 2.0.
Seems to be that way. Mo had another Mo game, you know. Didn't notice him do anything wrong, but he also didn't do anything spectacular. So, you guys want to do top 2, bottom 1?
Before that, it says Mauricio Pereira created the most chances in the match.
Well, there you go.
So he created 5 chances. Can't really ask for much more than
Nope.
5. That's pretty decent, actually. Or, yeah,
Yeah.
Bottom 1.
I got mine straight off the rip. It's not even an Orlando City player. It is a St. Louis player. His name is Aziel Jackson. He had 5 fouls committed, he was a little menace the whole time. I hated watching him play. He didn't do shit except for foul our players, and it took him until that 5th foul to get the first yellow. I think it was the first yellow card of the match.
That was a 6th foul.
On here it says he only committed 5 fouls.
Fair.
So, either way, he pissed me off the whole time. Don't know how he got away with 4 fouls before he finally got a 5th, before he finally committed the 5th and got that yellow. He just pissed me off. His little hair up in the bun. He's a little short fucking piss off. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
My bottom one is also not an Orlando City player. It's actually not a player at all. Eli. Poor from you, bud. No, real talk though. We respect you. Honestly, thanks for coming out to Orlando, making some great content. But you couldn't find the big ass light. Come on, be better.
Grow up.
Grow up. Dave.
I'm gonna go with a player kind of like Zach. It's on the other team. I'm gonna go with Nerwinski for denying a
Jack Lynn assist.
sure, but
That's
a
the more
third
important
goal. A goal that could have helped us in goal differential. That would have gotten Enrique on the score sheet. Yeah.
So we're just shitting on everybody but ourselves.
I mean,
yeah, fair. If we're going to Orlando City, Duncan didn't have a great game. I don't think Angulo had a good game. Those would be my 2.
Yeah, those are really the only 2 I think you can say had themselves poor games. And it's not even like they were atrocious games where we noticed how bad they were. It's just not up to the standard we would like them to be at. So,
apart from Nerwinski, who had the red card, he was at 5'1". The lowest rated player from either side was Aziel Jackson with a 5'9". So he can go fuck himself.
there you go.
Also, like Nerwinski, either don't commit the foul or commit it in the box. That's just true. Fuck you. What an ass.
Jack Lynn could have taken the pen.
No.
He could have assisted
He could have.
the pen that he took.
Janssen could have taken the pen.
That is
Pedro
true.
could have taken the pen.
Sub Oscar on, let him take a pen.
Yeah.
You know?
Eh,
At this point,
throw me on there.
Ew, no.
I'd put that shit away.
Top 2, first one. One of them is obviously, for me, it's going to be Facundo. I think it might be the same for everybody else. So, yeah, Facundo, man of the match performance, 2 goals, class act all the way around. Yeah, fair. Yeah, Facundo.
yep, no, agreed. Facundo. I mean, not much more to say about the guy.
Then you want to go ahead with your second top player?
Yeah, my second is going to be Dagger Dan.
Fair.
8.2 on Foot Mob. Completed the most dribbles in the match. 88% pass accuracy. Created 1 chance. Total shot of 1. 48 touches. 3 passes into the final third. So, had himself a match. Created some chances for us, and it's really good to see somebody, like Dave said, step into the midfield and be effective.
I was doing the same thing as you. I'm just copying. I don't think there wasn't as much of a standout performer as there was both Facundo and Dagger Dan. So I could try to go down a route and find somebody, but then that would just be overlooking what he did in that game. I just don't feel like I can do that. The assist, good for you. Fantastic. Well done. Just nice to see the right back that steps into the midfield and it works out. Poor Kyle Smith, man. Sorry, just not your role. And Dagger Dan as a midfielder can do that, and he can still defend well enough to play right back, so it works out well.
Yeah, make that 3 for 3. For all the reasons you both said, but the only other person I could see you giving man of the match to, or top 2, would be Mo, just because he created 5 chances.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, Dan was class.
Want to check Discord and see if there's anything else that we missed?
No, let's go through that right now. Discussion topics in Discord. All right, let's see. Obviously, the Kara potential transfer news. Did that. Here we go. What's everyone's current thoughts on Ojeda? We did see him come on as a substitute, as we have seen in basically almost every match this season. didn't really notice anything from him at all.
Still not there. Still not at the level that you need from him to be in the starting 11. So
Yeah, he's not cracking 11. He did have a good free kick just straight at the keeper, but not good enough.
He does have 2 more goal contributions this season than Ivan Angulo. So there is that. Take from it what you will. But he's basically been coming on as a substitute where Angulo has been starting.
mm-hmm.
And Ivan does a lot of the dirty work on the left side.
Ojeda
so
probably won't do that.
Exactly. That's the one drawback that you'd get from starting him on the left.
Is Duncan losing form, or is it just a small slump with Schlegel's performances? I feel like we hit home on both of those already.
Yep.
Supporter Shield thoughts, can anyone in the East catch up to Cincy?
No.
Don't think so.
No, I think they've built up a lot of ground unless they just drop a shit ton of points here at the end. But I just don't see that happening.
They're going to pull an Arsenal.
Fuck off.
Out of pocket.
It's just much conversation about Duncan.
12th place.
How Jacqueline looked like a better defender than Rodrigo Schlegel. My goat.
They both did their job.
Yeah, I was gonna say Rodrigo actually had a
He did well.
good match.
Nope. Fantastic. Well, thank you for all the people in the Discord that put some discussion topics in there. Sorry we didn't do that before, but we did hit pretty much all the topics in there. So if you're not in the Discord already, go ahead and join. You can contribute to what we talk about on the podcast, and hopefully we'll actually look at it at the beginning of the pod so we know what you guys want to hear. Charlotte tomorrow. Technically today when people are listening to this. Tonight.
Yeah. Doing the watch along depending on the hurricane weather.
Yep.
If we can get up here safely or not.
I think we should be able to, but it'll be cutting it close, so stay tuned. So, all our social medias, we'll give that information out there.
Yep.
Do we finally get our win over Charlotte this season?
Knock on wood. The website 538. I was looking at the percentages, and they give the percentages of who's going to win if it's going to be a draw. And I'm pretty sure Charlotte was at it was 47 or 57, and we were at 20. And then the draw was whatever other number adds up to 100 in there. So apparently, statistically, Charlotte's meant to win this game. They're coming off a 2-1 win against LAFC, so that's a big win for them. Helped out. Yeah, Mickey Mouse is going to be calling the game again. Listening to the home team radio to see if he appears again. We need to beat Charlotte.
We do. It's been our bogey team this year.
Yep.
We just don't have a good performance anytime that we've played them in the past, 2 matches this season. So definitely need to see a good performance. Definitely need to see some rotation because we come back home.
No, we play away again I think we play at Cincy on Saturday. So we play a team not in the playoff, well, maybe in the playoff race, not in the playoff spot right now. And then we play the top team in the East, I'm pretty sure, 5 days from now.
Yep.
So rotation, 2 away matches in a row, probably not heading home. It's going to be a little rough.
Yeah.
A little rough stretch.
No. Wait, what? No, that's just fucked. You're right. We play
This
Saturday
Yeah.
against Cincy.
Yep. So little away stretch here for us. We know that we have some decent road form, so it could be a good thing for us, to keep this streak alive per se. But
still the best away form overall in the league, I believe. So
should be.
Hopefully lean on that a little bit and then take it with us into Cincy, because that'll be a fun one.
That one's definitely going to be a test. That's going to be a test for sure. You're talking about, 2 top 5 teams in the East playing against each other.
That could actually, thinking about it, that could impact the supporter shield race for all of the teams within even 2 points of us below the table, or under us points wise. So if we can come away with 3 points away, 6 points on this road trip, we are then in a good spot one stay in the playoff race no matter what, and even make a push for the top. So
Try to get that home playoff spot.
all
That'd
right,
be important.
we're in. Keep
We're
the home playoff
currently in
spot.
one,
Yeah.
but at this point, there's maybe 3 points separating us from.
Yeah, it's a tight race in the East.
So from 7th to us, which is Nashville, it's a 5-point difference.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you have to win every game. That's how you have to view these upcoming set of fixtures.
So realistically, how many points you taking away from this weekend?
Me,
Just these 2 games.
between Cincy and Charlotte. Ideally, we get 6. I think realistically 4.
Draw Cincy, beat Charlotte.
Yeah. I hope that we can walk away with the 6, like you said, but I think 4 is what we should shoot for on a short week with travel, all that. We should walk away with 4 points.
That'll be a test, that's for sure. Y'all got anything else?
No.
No. So if you like what you heard here, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications. Don't DM us or message us on anything or comment on anything asking when fan reaction coming out, because you'll know when they come out. We are trying to reach 500 subscribers by the end of the season, so make sure you share this stuff with your friends, your family, just not your kids probably. Wouldn't be safe. Not family friendly.
That's for you, Owen. Poor guy.
If you like what you heard here, make sure that you check out all our social medias at OCFanTV22 on Twitter, X now, at OCFanTV on Instagram, Orlando City Fan TV on Facebook, OC Fan TV on TikTok. We're on Threads, I guess that's still a thing.
Still kicking.
So Orlando City Fan TV on there. Like you said before, join the Discord, and you can help us know what you want to hear us talk about, so we don't just ramble about random stuff on here.
Facts.
Check out our Patreon. It's only $3 a month. We've got some really cool content on there. If you liked what you saw at the end of the episode with Taylor and some Premier League stuff, that's where that will all be. Helps us buy a new soundboard, so
Still need it.
let's get on the Patreon. But yeah, we appreciate you guys for joining us here in the Orlando City Fan TV studio.
Who's our sponsor?
Thanks again to our sponsor, Bet Online. Make sure you use that code BELIEVE for your 50% welcome bonus. And yeah, Sports Center out.
Kick a can.